Hey, are you a pot watcher? Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, also known as Pajama Grandma. Today I want to talk about the expression or the idiom, watched pots never boil. And I love this expression. I actually went looking for it this morning because I woke up thinking about focus and thinking about things that we do or do not want. And that when we want something, when we're focusing on what we want, if we're actually thinking about and focusing and taking a step every day toward moving what we want, toward what we want, it comes a lot faster and easier than if we wake up every day and we're focusing on, and by focus I mean thinking about, giving our attention to, worrying about, doubt, fear, anxiously awaiting something. We're really not focusing on what we want. We're thinking about and focusing on the lack of it or the what we don't want, right? Killer for our momentum, killer for achieving what we want. And that's why I went for looking for a watch pot never boils, because a watch pot never boils means we're anxiously or nervously awaiting something to happen. Have you ever put a pot of water on the stove to boil eggs or to cook pasta or something? I spent decades cooking pasta, so that one easily pops into my mind and recollection. And have you stood around waiting and anticipating when that freaking pot was going to boil? I will admit I have done that. Mainly I was thinking about something else, but I was waiting for the pot to boil so I could put pasta in it or do something or move forward in what it is that I wanted. And whenever we're doing that, our wanting it to boil faster, even though it takes about the same amount of time for the pot to boil no matter what, it feels so much longer. It feels so much more painful. It feels like it takes forever, even though it takes the same amount of time. Because we're focusing on what isn't happening yet. We're focusing on it not boiling yet. We're focusing on the part of the journey that's taking forever. Have you ever ridden in the car with the kids and somebody inevitably asks, are we there yet? I had 4 sisters or 3 sisters, and the 4 of us, one of us would always ask whether we were going to the store or my grandma's or whatever, my grandparents, because both of them were alive then, or wherever we were going, one of us would always ask, are we there yet? Because we were impatient. You know, 2 or 3 of us might be playing in the car and having fun or playing a card game, but one of us would always be bored and say, are we there yet? And for that person, the trip always seemed longer than it did for the rest of us that were busy doing things to move us toward what we want, that we're busy using our time in a different way and our thoughts and our focus and our attention in a positive way that helped us enjoy the journey. So a couple of questions about this being a watch pot never boiling. Because I found that this showed up in different ways as I'm running my businesses and even in corporate America. To me, being a watch pot would be when I never asked for help. If I'm not asking for help and I'm trying to do everything myself, I'm adding more stress and anxiety and tension to trying to force a result than I probably have to. There's probably times when I've micromanaged. If I'm micromanaging a situation or something, that means I'm not trusting the process, and I'm not trusting the people that are doing the process. And I think that's terrible. Number one, it shows them that I don't trust them. And number two, it shows that I'm a neurotic person that has to micromanage everything because I don't trust other people to manage and do their thing. And that's bad for relationships. Not only is it, overseeing too much, but it adds more stress and anxiety to my life, but it also adds more stress and anxiety to other people's lives that I'm working with or in a relationship with. So how can you, if you are being a watch pot, or if you're watching too much, how can you back off on that? How can you make people, number one, how can you relieve some of your own pressure and stress and tension around a topic or a subject or an outcome? A lot of it is you trust the people, you give them the result that is expected, and you just let them run with it. And then you let them know, hey, if you have any questions, you can always come to me and ask for help or guidance. But otherwise, I trust that you're going to get this done in the agreed upon time, to the agreed upon quality that we've decided we're going to get it done on. That's what I learned to do. I learned to delegate, and that changed everything. Delegating and asking for help will change everything. And the other thing is focus on the end result, the goal, the big thing that you want to achieve, the project outcomes and things, but be present for the journey. Be excited about and present and only do the next step. To me, the definition of frustration is expecting things to be different this moment than they are right now, expecting things to be different. But things can only be what they are. And when we accept things can only be what they are, then we know what our next step is. If we're always focusing on just the next step and the next step and the next step with our big goal of the future in mind, we'll activate momentum. And when we activate momentum, we get our end result because we're focusing on what we want, but we're not commiserating about it not being here yet. And we're allowing the process to unfold naturally, and we're enjoying the process. We're excited about it. We're anticipating it. And before we know it, we have that result. We've gotten that big goal, and we've gotten it in a less stressful, less anxious, less frustrated way, because we're enjoying every step of the way, not just, why don't I have it yet? I hope that makes sense. This is one of my favorite things to think about. And like I said, I woke up this morning thinking about focusing on what we want, not the lack of it, or focusing on what we want, not that we don't have it yet. We're not there yet. Guess what? Big secret, big reveal. We're never going to be there. We're never going to be at this end final destination that we think we're going to be at, because as soon as we achieve a big thing or the next thing, we're going to want something else. Have you ever done that? You get a new car and you love it, and about a week into it, you're like, okay, I already want this other new car. And you start looking forward to that other new car. Now, it doesn't mean you don't enjoy the car that you're driving, but you focus on, okay, I want that next new car. I want that next new customer. I want that next new level of success in my business. But as soon as you get close to that, even before you actually get there, when you realize that you're going to get there, you absolutely positively have this in the bag, you're already thinking about the next thing. That's our human condition. That's how our brains work. That's how we go forward in our lives. So know that you're never going to be done. So quit worrying about the pot boiling and just do the next thing and enjoy the things that you're doing on the way to the things that you want. Take care. I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.